For the first time in a century, the border between Australia's two most populous states will be sealed. All crossings between Victoria and New South Wales will be closed. Now, the move comes as Victoria reports a new record of 127 new coronavirus cases. The virus has spread through parts of Melbourne, including a cluster in public housing towers. 53 cases have been recorded in the densely populated buildings, which are home to a large number of migrants. Now, there are concerns that the virus could spread rapidly. For more, we're joined by Brianna Piazza in Melbourne. Brianna, so what are authorities doing to contain the spread and help residents living in those public housing buildings?
So authorities are providing support to the 3,000 residents who live in these 9 public housing buildings across Melbourne. So we know that there have been a number of positive cases of COVID-19 in recent days, and authorities are very warned about the potential for this virus to spread. So it's important to remember these buildings are home to some of the most vulnerable residents in Melbourne, including migrants and people from low-income earning backgrounds. So authorities are providing food assistance, as are local charities. They're also offering rental assistance, and state government workers are going door to door, talking to residents and urging them to get tested. So this hard lockdown came into effect on Saturday. It's meant to last at least 5 days, and it came without many warning for many residents.
And Brianna, closing the border between New South Wales and Victoria is an unprecedented move. What impact is that expected to have?
That's right. It's the first time in 100 years that this has happened, and it couldn't come at a worse time for businesses, particularly for tourism businesses who are emerging from lockdown restrictions recently, hoping that they would be able to start operating their businesses as normal. So right now in Victoria, it is school holidays, so typically you'd see many families travelling interstate into New South Wales for their school holidays. So that is obviously all off the cards at the moment, but it's not just tourism and people's holidays that have been ruined. It's actually hundreds of thousands of residents who live across the border or in these border cities and towns who would typically travel into New South Wales, for example, daily for work, or they'd travel just a few kilometres across the border to access basic health services or go to hospitals. So these residents are very much impacted, and we know that hundreds of police will be stationed at 55 points across the border, patrolling and making sure that people aren't entering or leaving. But what we do know is that there might be some exemptions for local residents who do need to travel across the border for urgent issues such as going to hospital, for example. But police are warning people travelling daily for work that they will experience heavy delays over the next few days in these areas.
Yeah, thanks for that. Brianna Piazza speaking to us from Melbourne.